It's now 12:03, and I call this special meeting to order. Item number 2, establishment of a quorum. Let the record reflect that present are Adrian Gonzalez, Oscar Caballero, David Fuentes, and Andrew Gonzalez. Item number 3, approval of proposal awards. We'll go one by one, Doctor, if that's okay. Letter A, E-rate eligible maintenance contracts for network equipment and UPS parts, RFP number 16-04-26.
And board members, for each of these items, I am going to defer to Mr. Martinez, who is fully prepared and anxious to present to you the proposals that we would like your approval on.
All right, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board President, members of the board, Dr. Leo. The first item is for hourly maintenance and UPS parts. This proposal is to be purchased on an as-needed basis. So it would probably be less than what I proposed, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. There were some items in the bid that vendors submitted a no bid, but most of these are like replacement parts or replacement hardware, so it would not affect this. So the big part of this is maintenance on our current equipment.
Just to kind of get some of these questions out of the way, because I was
Sure.
looking through all the package, and it kind of applies to all of the different things we're going to discuss today, or everything you're going to present, but why no bids? Like, why are there so many no bids in response to the RFPs that you're putting out?
Well, no bids on this particular item or others?
No, I mean, you can handle them each individually, but I think my question will pertain to some of them, because they're zeros and no bids.
E-rate is a big, I mean, there's a lot of E-rate bids going out right now. But we fill out our 470, which 470 we publish on the E-rate website. We submit our bid, our proposals are all on the E-rate website, so anybody in the nation can bid on those. They have to be on the E-rate website for at least 28 days. We exceeded that. I know Mr. Sanchez also advertised locally in the Monitor. We did that a few times. And then I also sent out 30 emails to 30 vendors, but I know they're real busy on submitting bids.
So with that being said, you know, I can appreciate that we went out there and we made this available to the community, at large, you know, including nationwide. But why do we have specific vendors mentioned here that have no bids? Is it because they requested a bid individually? Like, why do we name these and then put no bids?
I just put them just to show that, I mean, they did submit something, but, I mean, how do you want to handle them?
They submitted bids on the other items. Because we have 4 proposals that went to the same vendors, so they submit bids on some, but not on this one.
I get you.
That's what we listened to.
So they responded to somewhere
We
else,
wanted
but
to
in
make
this
it.
particular case, there was a no bid on it.
Yes.
Gotcha. That was the question I was really after, the answer I was really looking after. Okay. So is there anything else with respect to the presentation on item number 1?
Item number, letter A is, again, it's as-needed basis, so.
Are we going to vote on them individually or just all at once?
We can do either one. I mean, if you have something that you singled out, or
Oh,
if you
no.
want to hear all of them, they're all under the.
I can explain each one.
Do I have to do A, B, C, D, or can we do them all under one, since it's all under approval of proposal?
You can do it. I would just, for purposes of the minutes, announce that you're going to be entertaining A, B, C, and D at the same time. So call out each one so you can discuss either one. And
You know what,
mix
let's just
them
do them
out.
individually, just to keep them straight. So, I mean, does anybody have any questions with respect to
No.
letter A?
Is this your recommendation?
Yes, is my recommendation.
Motion by Adrian Gonzalez, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Andrew Gonzalez. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please vote so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let the record reflect that at 12:07, Erasmo Lopez joined the meeting. Welcome, Mo.
Thank you.
Letter B, E-rate eligible wireless solution for one high school, RFP number 16-04-27. Carlos?
What this item is to replace all the wireless access points at East High School. I'm going to install 151 AC2 wireless access points. Each classroom will have their own access point, plus multiple will be in the larger areas like the library, the cafeteria, and the gym.
Bless you.
God bless you.
The vendor will be using existing cabling for this particular RFP, and my staff will be taking the older access points and relocating them to Weslaco High and other needed campuses.
Why is Weslaco High not included in this and only Weslaco East?
Originally, I had budgeted a certain amount of money, and since Weslaco East is smaller than Weslaco High, I had enough to take care of Weslaco East. And the reason why I'm saying that is because for E-rate purposes, I have to pay up 100%. If I either pay 100% right now when I get in the window, or I have to wait for approval from E-rate, which that could take a few months, and then I can pay the 15%. So I didn't have enough money to do both high schools, so I picked the smaller school. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take care of Weslaco East. I want to make sure before the end of the summer that they're going to have an access point in every single classroom and multiple in the other areas.
Weslaco High will be inheriting items that are still they're not obsolete.
They're not obsolete.
So this will
Right.
still be very functional with respect to
Right.
Weslaco High.
And there's another RFP that I will be redoing Weslaco High. That's the next one.
And you're saying that you're leaving some cables, or you're going to use existing cables?
I'm going to use existing cables for item B.
Okay.
On item C, I'm going to redo all the cabling.
Okay, and right now, what are they, Cat 5, Cat 6, or what are
Cat
they?
5.
They're Cat 5?
Cat 5E. But Cat 5E runs between 400 and 600 megahertz or megabits, and the Cat 6E, which is the one I'm proposing in the next item, that's the Cat 6E that's going to handle over a gig, so, or 1,000 megabits.
And there's two sorts of Cat 6, right? I think there's a Cat 6E and then a Cat 6.
There's a Cat 6A, Cat 6E, there's a regular Cat 6, and the standard right now, I mean, there's even Cat 7, Cat 8, but Cat 6E is going to be enough for these type of access points.
Okay.
The connection speed on these access points is, there's two connections up to 1.6, so basically you're doing one at gig and another one at 600 megabits. That's just the technology, the way they designed it. But we'll be in good shape with this.
So move.
Thank you, Adrian. Do I have a second?
Second.
Andrew? Second by Andrew Gonzalez. Any further discussion? And for me, I was going to ask, I know that you said in your notes here that you're going to be considerate of classroom time as far as the installation of all of these things.
Right.
Do you anticipate that it's going to take an extended amount of time, or is this something that's a summer project for you?
No, it's a summer project.
Okay, so as far as Weslaco East, and then taking those items to Weslaco High, you'll coordinate with the principal as far as the process in installing those?
And the good thing right now, they have an existing network working. So I'm just swapping out equipment, so it's not gonna, they're not gonna really have downtime.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please vote so by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. C, E-rate eligible wireless infrastructure upgrades for campuses, RFP number 16-04-28. Carlos?
Okay, this item is to replace all wireless access points at Weslaco High, Mary Hogue, Central, KWES, B. Garza, with 446 AC2 access points. Again, just like the one before, each classroom will have one access point, and the larger open areas will have several.
How many drops?
This one's also going to include 638 new cable drops.
Okay.
And 638, well, wait a minute, he said 446. The reason why is because I'm going to take care of East. I'm going to redo all their drops, even though we're doing the access points on item B. Again, I don't know when I'm going to get approval to do C and the others. Once I get approval on that, then I'm going to start that project. But this will handle, I'm upgrading all the drops for all the wireless access points at those 6 campuses. Did that answer your question? And you might add the numbers. Well, remember I said each access point has 2 connections. On the classrooms, I'm going to do 1 gig connection. But on the larger open areas like the libraries and the cafeterias, I'm going to take advantage of the 2 connections and go as fast as they can go.
All right, so move.
Second.
Motion by Adrian Gonzalez, second by Andrew Gonzalez. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please vote so by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter D, E-rate eligible computer network hardware and installation, RFP number 16-04-29. Carlos?
This item is to replace five very large switches that can handle like more than 384 connections. These switches are kind of end of life, end of support, end of hardware replacement. So it's time to replace them. They're still in working order. I'm still going to use them for parts if others go bad, but I want to replace half of the ones that are end of life.
You said that in the detail here, you're talking about replacing five large ones with smaller ones.
Yeah, basically we have these large 4510s, and they have 8 blades. So the problem is if something happens with a large chassis, all my connections go down. So the technology now, you can go modular, so it's kind of like you have separate switches. So if one were to fail, everything else continues to work.
Space-wise, you still have enough
Space-wise,
ability
it's the same.
to put that many units in there?
Yes.
And the replacement, I mean, you're getting a good warranty where it's easy to exchange these things out?
Yes.
And not be down for a long period of time?
They have a limited lifetime, but limited lifetime are usually about 7 to 8 years, because once the technology changes, they'll warranty it up until they change models, but it's over 5 years.
But it'll be easy to replace them, you know,
Yes.
so that connectivity doesn't stop. I mean,
Correct.
so we can replace it and keep moving on.
And basically, you have, like, say all the switches in line, and there is a backplane cable that connects all of them, and the last switch will connect to the top switch. So if any of them you have to take out, they never lose connectivity.
And I think it's also important to note that in all of the items that you presented today, A, B, C, and D, we have 85% participation from the state, and we're only
Yes.
responsible for the 15%.
Yeah, we're looking at over $500,000 if you add all of them together, and the district's only responsible for 75,000.
It's a good deal.
Awesome. Have you worked with, I know you, are you going strictly low bid, or what are we doing here?
Pretty much low bid. I mean, we do look at what they're quoting, but in this case, the low bid met the spec,
Okay.
and we've worked with most of
You
these
have worked with the
vendors.
vendors before?
Yes.
That was my next question. Good. Now, will these vendors be required to submit a bond, payment and performance bond on this work? And the
No.
reason I ask, I think we had some issues in the past with somebody came in and got materials delivered, and they didn't finish the job, and we wound up paying. So will we be required to carry a bond on these jobs?
I don't remember if we requested it, but we will.
Done.
Anything that has to do with installation, or we have to go through wiring inside the wall, we have to.
Okay, make sure we take care of that, because I don't want to get
Avoid
ourselves in
problems
trouble.
Like what we had before, yes.
Okay. Now, the reason, Carlos, we're doing this is for more speed, or what are we doing? Or is it just an upgrade of the same thing?
No, it's more speed. Just to kind of give you an idea, you know, with the BYOT project that we have in place, we have about 18,000 devices that people bring from outside coming into our district that are connecting. So, plus, we have to also have bandwidth for our own devices that we currently own. So, I see a growth in more devices coming in. I mean, there's students coming in with their phones and an iPad, or phones and a small laptop. So every one of those devices is touching the BYOT network.
Are you able to monitor how many devices are connected?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, 18,000, we have 18,000 students, so I guess everybody's bringing something to school.
Not everybody, but some people are bringing 2 or 3 devices.
Is that right?
Yes. And then also the staff is bringing their own devices sometimes too, so that's also counted into this. And the good thing about this, with our NAC in place, we filter every device that's hitting our network. So they're still going through all our filters with our controls.
Now, at my business, we're able to monitor and to keep people from going to places and downloading movies and music and stuff like that. Are we doing that? Are we able to do that?
We're able to block, we can block them from doing that.
Yeah, because I know movies and downloading videos like that, it takes up a lot of bandwidth, so. yeah. Okay, that's all I have.
And we also have other appliances, not to get off the subject, but we can throttle if we see too much going to a certain site for, and some are in perfectly good examples, but if I have to throttle it, I can squeeze them down and control their bandwidth.
Good, okay.
So move.
Motion by Adrian Gonzalez, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Andrew Gonzalez. Any further discussion?
Thank you. Thank you.
Carlos, great presentation today, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, for saving
Thank
me
you, Carlos.
again.
No, thank you for coming.
Well, again, this is shows that we're here in Weslaco, and we're trying to just get the best for our students, and thank you for bringing this forward, Carlos.
Yep.
I think it's a win-win situation for our students and staff, and just having because I hate when I'm behind the computer and it's slow. So this is a good thing. Thank you.
No, we've been using E-rate for some time, just continue to maximize, our purchasing power, and continue to stay up to speed with, no pun intended, with the speed of technology, so that we can continue to give access, and greater access to our students, especially moving into the next century of learning, really. The one other comment that I wanted to make, with respect to you're talking about access points and devices that are coming in, I just want to reiterate, Dr. Leo, and you're new here. Moving into the next school year, we need to make sure that we get all of those signatures from students as far as appropriate use of our network and technology. Because there's a sense of responsibility that we have in making sure, Mo is asking questions about access and different sites that we need to make sure that we monitor and make sure it's appropriate, and especially in the environment that we're in education. But the way technology is moving now, we just need to make sure that we communicate that responsibility to our students and make sure that we have those signatures on those disclaimers and acknowledgement forms about the appropriate use of technology in our classrooms and in our schools. Okay.
Real quick,
Yes,
also,
good point. A recent visit with a principal, I was asking all kinds of detailed questions because it involved questionable actions by one group of students against another. And I raised the questions about policy statements and assurances that we get from students that they are going to use their devices appropriately, and when they don't, what are the disciplinary consequences. So those conversations are going on, and even now, you said something that triggered in my mind to follow up and see just how tight those policy statements are and those documents that students sign off on, so that when and if a problem arises, we can say, you agreed, this is what you would do, you have violated that agreement. We'll continue focused on that.
and I was going to ask Mr. Martinez, on the older schools, have we looked in maybe upgrading them as far as like from Cat 5 to Cat 6?
This is like phase one.
Okay.
I've already started replacing some of their older switches.
Oh, okay.
So that's already going into effect already.
Okay.
And the next phase, next year, I'll be probably revamping the elementaries. So
Good job.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, just one real quick question, I guess. I'm going back to Dr. Leo. I guess the employees also sign off on a acknowledgement or?
They do.
acceptable
Okay.
use policy,
Yes.
yes.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor, please vote so by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. Item 4, adjournment.
So move.
It is 12:22 and this meeting is adjourned.